I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. We've got a lot on our agenda. We've got some really good things going on tonight with the new council member, 2 new police officers. So I'm really excited, and the Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Month also. So if we could, we'll go ahead and get this meeting started at 7:03, February 12, 2013. Kevin, roll call, please.
Mr. Dickerson. Here. Ms. Gerber.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Thacker.
Here.
Ms. Elliott.
Here.
Shall I call for Ms. Krafka?
Not yet.
Not yet.
All righty. If we could all stand, please, for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Our first order of business tonight will be the swearing of a new council member, Miss Katie Krafta. If you could please come forward. Are we all set? Here, go ahead and turn so there you go. So you can get your picture. I'll go right here. There we go. Excited? If you will repeat after me, please. I, Katie Krafta,
I, Katie Krafka,
as a qualified elector, residing within Amelia Village, Ohio, do hereby accept without reservation the responsibilities of the office of Village Council Member in and for said village for a term expiring December 31st, 2013. In so accepting, I solemnly swear and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and all the ordinances of Amelia Village, Ohio, and will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of the office of Village Council Member. Sworn to and attested to this day, 12th day of February, 2013. Congratulations, Katie.
Thank you.
Now we will put you right to work.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, Mr. Mayor, we do have a full body of council.
Thank you, sir. All right. I have another special treat that I get to do for Miss Drina Campbell. If she could please come up and bring Cora and whomever else you would like to bring.
How about, can I just bring her and I take the picture?
You may. How are you?
Good.
Good? Like all these people came to see you? Isn't that nice? That's great. Well, I am going to give you a proclamation tonight, and I will read this to you, okay? Whereas the health and well-being of our children is of paramount importance, and whereas each year in the United States approximately 4,000 babies are born with congenital heart defect, and whereas the medical community has identified congenital heart defects as a leading cause of defect-related deaths, and whereas medical research can provide more identifiable means of the origins and symptoms of congenital heart defects, and whereas it is crucial that parents, pediatricians, and all those in the health profession have a greater awareness of the potential for congenital heart defects among newborns and children, and, not a whereas, huh? Whereas Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week provides the opportunity for families whose lives have been affected to celebrate life and to remember loved ones lost, to honor dedicated health professionals, and to meet others and share their stories and experiences in order to raise public awareness about congenital heart defects. Now, therefore, I, Todd J. Hart, Mayor of Amelia Village, Ohio, do hereby proclaim February 7th through 14th, 2013, Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week, and encourage all Amelia residents to join me in this special observance. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Don't worry, Cora, we got cupcakes back for you.
I knew there was a reason everybody was here tonight. We got cupcakes. That's it.
Cupcakes and cake, it brings them in every time. All right, we're going to move to two parts of legislation right now. The first part of legislation, I'll go ahead and read it by title. Amelia Village, Ohio Ordinance 0-2013-08. An ordinance confirming the mayor's probationary appointment of Michael J. Matulowicz as a part-time police officer in the Amelia Village Police Department and declaring an emergency. This time I need a motion to suspend the rules for 3 readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson. Yay. Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Second legislation, Amelia Village, Ohio Ordinance 0-2013-09, an ordinance confirming the mayor's probationary appointment of Kevin J. Barkley Jr. as a part-time police officer in the Amelia Village Police Department and declaring an emergency. This time I need a motion to waive the 3 readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Kevin, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you, council. At this time, if I could have Mr. David Friend, our police chief, Mr. Barkley, and Mr. Matulowicz, please come forward.
Before we start, I want to kind of tell you some of the process we went through with these 2 officers, going to be officers here soon. First of all, they made it through 85 candidates. They scored number 1 and number 2 in the scored panel interview, the chief's interview, and the mayor's interview. So these guys are really high quality, and I'm sure they'll represent Amelia well. And that's kind of the process they went through. So it took them a long time to get here. It seemed like months. So, but we're here now, and we're going to get it done. Hold that one there. Why do we stand here? Why do we
passing that
How are you doing?
Just fine, no sir.
Makes me honored to do this and privileged. You guys are going to do this simultaneously. Is how you want to do
Sure.
that? So you want to go ahead and raise your right hand. I, Kevin J. Barkley, Jr.
I, Kevin J. Barkley Jr.
I, Michael J. Matulowicz,
I, Michael J. Matulowicz,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and the laws of the State of Ohio,
the ordinances and resolutions of Amelia Village,
the ordinances and resolutions of Amelia Village. We're trying to do it in sync here.
and faithfully perform the duties
And faithfully perform the duties,
and all and singly
all and singly,
of the office of police officer of Amelia Village,
of the office of police officer of Amelia Village,
Claremont County, Ohio,
Claremont County, Ohio,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
without malice or prejudice,
without malice or prejudice,
but with courtesy and respect
but with courtesy and respect
for all,
for all,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Sworn to and attested to this 12th day of February 2013. Congratulations.
Appreciate
sir.
it.
David is going to do the pinning of the badges.
Thanks, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you Officer Mike Matulowicz and Officer Kevin Barkley Jr. They have something to sign first, right there.
Yes, they do. What I'm going to do, if council so chooses, is we will take about a 10-minute recess. We'll have these gentlemen fill this out. You guys can introduce yourselves. Everybody's welcome. We have cake, we have cupcakes, and waters and pop back here. So if council will approve that, we will adjourn for about 10 minutes. I have a motion.
we adjourn.
Second.
A motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and reconvene at 7:32. Need a motion to go ahead and reconvene.
You got motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead, and we're going to get back to next order of business is the January 22nd, 2013 regular meeting minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at those? Anybody find anything that needs to be changed in those? If not, I'd entertain a motion to be off.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm just stepping all over you tonight, aren't I?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm a little person on the telephone.
Got a motion and a second. Kevin, roll call, please.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yay.
Ms. Gerber?
Yay.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Ms. Krafka?
Abstain.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Yay.
5-0, 1 abstention. Passes.
Next, we have the special meeting from January 30th, 2013. Everybody got a copy of those? And if no one sees any changes, I would entertain a motion to adopt.
Motion.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion over those meeting minutes? If not, Kevin, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yay.
Ms. Gerber?
Abstain.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Krapka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 5-0, one abstention.
Next order of business, approval of the bills. Does everybody have a copy of the bills? And if no one has any questions at this time, I'd entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I had one quick
Sure.
question. The special assessments that's on there for 3420 January, do we know what that was for? I'm just curious.
That's over, I always forget the name of the street. It's the Pond Park area.
They put a sewer line through there, and we will be paying that assessment on that sewer line.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not- We're
Yeah,
not
they-
able to,
Political subdivisions are not exempt from special assessments, but they are from real estate taxes.
Okay.
so we have to pay that until we pay our fair share.
Okay.
Any other questions on the bills? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to pay the bills.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? If not, Kevin, roll call vote.
Mr. Peterson. Yay. Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Ms. Krapka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
Committee reports, finance.
I guess we called our meeting to order at 7 p.m. There was this, our main point of discussion was on the road repair and repaving estimates from the county. I guess we've got them in our council packets here.
Everyone should have a copy of those costs.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll discuss that later in the meeting. I think I saw that on there. We kind of looked at it. We kind of thought there was money enough to do it all. We kind of decided to kind of pass on Jenny Lynn because we weren't sure where Pierce Township was on that, and we didn't know if we'd have enough time to get with them and get it done before the deadline. The other stuff we talked about, we were looking at some discussion on surplus equipment and stuff. We also talked about the phone contract renewal. We want to look into it. I think you found a price for a 1-year renewal.
Yes, Mitel came back with agreement. They said probably by next year our equipment might need to be updated, so we asked them to give us a cost on if they would do a 1-year extension. They said they would, and it actually came back a little bit cheaper for the 1-year extension than it does for what we currently pay. So, to me, I feel that's probably our best way to go, being that we don't want to have to redo all our phones and all our system right now and relook at that and revisit that next year. With the way things go into telecommunication and all that, another year our phones may be obsolete. They may have something else out there. So
And that kind of sums up our finance meeting in a nutshell.
all right, safety.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. You and Chris both, did you get a letter from Mr. Fox who was interested in joining the safety committee? Did you get one, Chris? I know.
I have it.
I emailed you one, so
Okay.
check when you get home. Set an appointment up at our next safety meeting. He'll be here for you guys to interview, talk to, and see what you think of him. Sounds like a pretty nice guy, so. With that, we will go ahead and jump in legislation. In front of us, we have Amelia Village, Ohio Ordinance 0-2013-02, an ordinance continuing the appointment of Ms. Julia B. Carney in the position of the village solicitor. This will be the second reading. The next piece of legislation is on the Mitel Net Solutions. Kind of went over that briefly. It's a 1-year extension, came in a little bit cheaper than we currently pay now. So, anybody have any questions on the Mitel? We need to do this as an emergency,
We
Julia?
were just gonna do 3 readings,
Okay.
and we can add in, what's the time frame?
I thought March 1st was the contract date.
End of March.
End of March?
27th or 29th.
Okay.
We'll add an emergency clause before your 3rd reading.
Okay. Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance 0-2013-06, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and village fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with the Mitel Net Solutions for the provisions of telecommunications services and equipment. Like I said again, this will be the first reading, and it is just a 1-year extension. The next ordinance is amending personnel policy manual. I believe it's to clarify the holidays. Julia, you want to touch on this for a few minutes?
When we put in the new personnel policy manual, with the first holiday that came up was New Year's Day, and there was some confusion about one portion of your code had specific hours for the holiday of what got paid, and then it was confusing whether it was time and time and a half, and if you didn't work that day. So our attempt here is to modify the holiday section to say that if you're not working that, well, everybody gets 8 hours, whether you're working that day or not. And that's kind of in the memo I also gave you guys, but in the sheet you've got right there, that's in the blue section. And then clarifying whether holiday counts for overtime, which it would. And then the next revision is to the overtime and compensatory time. A lot of that was, again, clarifying what time qualifies for overtime. And then the first paragraph, actually, there had been an error. We used to have an 86-hour work period for police. That was changed about a year ago, so we went back to the 84 hours, which it should have been. That was just something that wasn't caught in the update. So it's an 84-hour work period for police officers during the 14-day pay period. And then after that, they would receive overtime at 1.5 times. So we were just clarifying that. And then section 701 is work hours, and that just sets a minimum for our part-time police officers that they will work 3 shifts per work period, which is the same thing as the pay period, so a 2-week period.
That sound good with you, David? Is that what we talked about? Okay.
That's correct.
We want to keep that at 3 shifts, or define it as 24 hours or 24 hours. What if somebody works like half?
The shift is 12 hours, correct?
The recognized shift here right now is
12 hours, so.
So that gives them 36 then? At 3 shifts, 12.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if you brought somebody in that needed to work, 6 hours instead of 12 or anything, if you wanted to put and/or 36 hours.
Yeah, we could do that. There will be overlapping shifts, and during the more busier parts of the season, such as summer and spring, summer,
Yeah.
when it gets.
I'm just, if you need somebody in a pinch and somebody goes home sick or whatever, and you call up one of the part-timers.
Well, they can always work more. This is a minimum for my law. They can always work more than 36.
Right, but I'm saying maybe you don't need them a full shift. It just doesn't define, if every time it's 3 shifts, then that's a full 12 hours. Is the only thing I'm getting at. I didn't know if you wanted to put or 36 hours.
We can do that. Are you comfortable with that language?
That's fine.
Okay. We'll just make an amendment to section 701. And after it says in this second paragraph, just add an or 36 hours in the first sentence. And in the second sentence.
Everybody got that? So we can do this just with the amendments, correct?
Yeah, just the motion should say approve as amended.
Any other questions on that one? If not, I'll go ahead and read. Amelia Village, Ohio, ordinance number 0-2013-07, an ordinance amending 0-2012-50 to amend section 606, holidays, section 612, overtime and compensatory time, and the receipt and acknowledgement clause of the personnel policy manual and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, that should include section 701 as well in that header. And if I may, on the receipt and acknowledgement clause, I modified that. There was some conflicting language in there regarding police officers and their probationary time and things like that. So we went ahead and shortened that just to cover the main points that we needed to cover. It was rather long, much longer than it needed to be, so I was just trying to simplify that for everyone.
I got a quick question on when we're going through this. Though I didn't see a section for 701 in here. Am I just missing it?
No, I didn't read it. That's why we have to add that
okay.
to the ordinance number, 0-2013-07.
You know what, it is,
It's not in the
it
ordinance.
is not in there.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a recess for maybe 5 minutes?
We can do that. We can go ahead and, what I'll do, if you want to go ahead and get this straightened out, we'll move on with discussion over the road blacktopping project in Clermont County. Everybody okay with that? All right, we'll set that aside and come back to that. Clermont County does a roadway project every year, and they do blacktopping, and they offer their assistance to outside entities to cut down the costs. I had Mr. Derek Campbell meet with Mr. Alex Cunningham of Clermont County, and I will let him fill you in on what was done and what was said.
Okay, well, this is our first time getting on board with Clermont County to get with their road paving project that they do. I don't know how many years they've been doing it this way, asking all the entities, but in my discussions with Alex with the county, he was telling me that normally we would save between 30 and 40% on a normal cost. I know a few years ago we did a small repair and it cost like $21,000. So when I was riding with him in his car doing all the markings and this first one popped up, it's like I was expecting, as far as we drove, I was expecting, $100,000. So it was good news. First one we went down was Chapel. Start at 125 and go past the bridge to where the county pavement starts. So if you can look at your first one in your packet, on mine anyway, there's some minor repairs to the road. They will grind all the old blacktop up 1.5 inches, because they'll put a new 1.5 inch top coat on that. There's some repairs. We've got some manhole covers that we'll have to redo as well. But it was pleasantly surprising when I saw $25,159 come up for that price. I've kind of marked on this map so you have a better idea of where it is. That's how much of it's going to be paved. Comes in, I believe, at it's 0.27 miles. So it's probably 1,425 feet because it's got curb length of 2,850. I'm thinking they do half and half. So that's the first one we went down. A lot of major traffic there, of course, with the schools, traffic, buses, and cars. It's quite rough. I don't know any pavement projects we've done other than the repair, and then we got on board with Batavia Township on Church Street. So one of the things we need to start looking at is so much paving each year. But we're kind of getting one big lump sum here and kind of spreading it out on some of the worst sections. Do you have something you want to add to them, Chapel? Or?
He did say also on Chapel, since we'll be redoing that to the bridge, he's pretty assured that the county will pick up from the bridge and probably do further up towards the intersection so that it all matches and looks nice. So that way we won't, they'll pay for that out of their pocket. So I thought that was really nice of them. So.
Okay. The next one we have, if your packet is stapled like mine, would be the Huntsman's Trace. Basically, it'll go from 125, all new markings, which our markings are not up to standards, so they're going to remark it. And I told him to go ahead and bring it up to standards in his quote. If you look at this drawing, you'll see it goes past the curve and almost the Grove Park entrance. So it's a little shy of that. So if you want to take a look at that one. Length of that is 0.131 miles. No major repairs of the surface that he could see. So same thing, grinding and repaving. That one came in at $16,450.84. And then we have Oak Street / Jenny Lynn. We have two quotes here. One is Oak Street, and then one is Jenny Lynn. The Oak Street is the village portion that'll go to Locust Lake, from 125 to Locust Lake. After that, it becomes Pierce Township on both sides of the road. And then just before you get to the Sedona Ridge entrance, half of the road is village and half the road's Pierce Township. So we quoted it a couple different ways. With just doing Oak Street, as Chuck had said, we have contacted Pierce Township to see if they would be interested in doing Jenny Lynn so we could just do it all the way. I've had contact back that they're going to discuss it, so that's all I've had from them so far.
What's the deadline on this, though?
We have to have a resolution in first meeting in March because that's when it has to be started, for the bid process.
So we would probably do this at our next council meeting.
Yeah. Go back to that. We have the Oak Street to, like I said, the Locust Lake, which goes just past the Morse house. And that total includes a little bit of road repair. Same thing, all new markings. And we come in at $16,785.57 for that first section. And then while we were there, he advised that it would be a good idea to go ahead and do anything else that's near that, and then Maple, which is pretty good usage with the library on that street as well. So to do all of Maple comes in another $12,212.42. So one of the things we have to keep in mind, which isn't in these quotes, is an approximate $2,000 to $5,000 delivery charge, basically, of the equipment. They charge you when they come in. That's why they want to do everything at once, so they don't have to haul that equipment in again. So he says it would probably range between $2,000 and $5,000 for that. So that gets us in, the 75,000 to 80,000 range to do the paving, as we see here. Jenny Lynn, as you can see, was quite a bit more. And like I said, that's all in Pierce Township, and that comes in at $58,910.
So that would be their portion.
That would be their portion, correct.
For that one strip.
So that $16,000 number, that's just our portion? I thought it was just
That's
for
Oak.
Oak Street.
That's Oak.
It's just Oak Street, okay.
Yeah, and then when it goes into Pierce,
It becomes,
at Locust Lake. So we would stop from 125 to Locust Lake. And then what's called Jenny Lynn on this quote is actually Pierce Township's portion.
so that whole thing would be their portion?
Correct. We don't have anything. And,
Okay. And that chunk?
yeah, like I
So
said.
So there really is nothing for us to act on in that then?
Right, on Jenny Lynn, there's nothing we can do. That's in their court. Like I said, they'll discuss it. It would have been nice just to go all the way down through there. Jenny Lynn's becoming broke down on the edges, and there's going to be quite a bit of repair needed. So that cost could probably climb for them. So that has nothing to do with us.
Okay, I thought we were going to get a chunk of that, but I guess not.
No.
Okay, makes more sense. It actually makes more sense.
And then we can take a look at how that would look, basically.
So they got all this information, they've got their quotes. And, again, it's all about working together. We came on this project, and apparently a lot of the other entities have already put forth their amount of money this year that they've already wanted to spend, so I don't know what yours will end up doing. Part of that down there by Sedona Ridge, half that road's in Amelia, half is in Pierce, and I believe you said
They will not do that.
they won't do half of the road. They either do the whole road or they don't do the road at all.
So that's kind of what the scope of the project is. The money is definitely there in the road funds to do the project. So it's just up to everybody to discuss if that's what we want to do. I know definitely we want to look at getting on a repavement program. To do a little bit every year, but this will kind of give us a good jump start and make a big impact, because most of it is all visible from 125.
They looked at the major roads that had the most traffic. The Chapel was in really bad shape with its buses and all the cars from school. So that's how these roads got chosen. Basically, we thought were the worst of the worst, and next year we'll start on other areas. And it'd be nice to do about $40,000 to $50,000 a year in road repairs. I know since I've been here, I don't, other than the Church Street, I'm doing patching, I've never seen roadways done, so.
And partnering with Paramount will give us a discount essentially? Doing it
Yeah,
separately?
between 30 and 40%.
Okay.
So,
What Claremont County did a few years ago, and I think they just brought villages into it last year, is they would put out these projects to Miami Township and Union Township and places like that. They would all get together. That way they have one contractor that does one bid, and he's doing such a mass amount of blacktopping that he comes in with a really, really good price. So, I mean, knowing what we've done with Church Street, this is phenomenal for what we're getting for $79,000.
Some of the numbers we've seen in the past have been insane.
At one time, Church was up to 200-some thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if council feels like they'd like to move forward with that, I will have a ordinance drawn up for the next meeting, and we'll move forward with the blacktopping. Everybody have a consensus to feel that way? Or?
I say considering the savings and the amount of road that's going to be replaced, we should move forward with it.
Take from you guys over here. All right, that's what we'll do. All right. Welcome back. This is correct.
It was correct, but the header wasn't changed. The one
Okay.
policy,
Yeah,
there's
but-
more
So this header is correct to read this title? Yes, sir.
That is correct.
That's your 701.
You have the correct one.
Okay.
And then
701 should be added.
Yes, I do.
The mayor has the correct.
I was just saying, mine's different.
Right.
Okay.
The only change difference is the header. The body is 6.
All right, I will go ahead and read. Amelia Village, Ohio ordinance number 0-2013-07, an ordinance amending 0-2012-50 to amend section 606, holidays, section 612, overtime and compensatory time, section 701, work hours, and the receipt and acknowledgement clause of the personnel policy manual and declaring an emergency. If the change is noted, at this time, I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules on 3 separate readings on 3 separate dates.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the adoption of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Kevin, roll call, please.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
This time I need a motion for the approval of the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Kevin, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Campbell.
Yay.
Mr. Dickerson.
Yay.
Ms. Elliott.
Yay.
Ms. Gerber.
Yay.
Ms. Krafka.
Yay.
Mr. Thacker.
Yay.
Passes 6-0.
All right, thank you. Back to discussion. We have 2 junk days now. Rumpke has graciously offered to do this. Or junk pickups, I should say. So our spring junk day is a weekend following the village-wide yard sale, which is June 8th. So then, the last year we had the village-wide yard sale, the second one, on Memorial Weekend, correct? Labor Day weekend. So after Labor Day weekend, the following Saturday, is that when you want to have junk pickup? And I guess that would be September 7th, correct?
Yeah.
Is that okay for council? So just for the public to know, we will have our village-wide yard sale June 8th, and
Just that
No.
one day? No,
No.
that's
no, that's
pickup day.
That's the
That's the
pickup
junk
day.
day.
So our village-wide yard sale, the first one will be when?
It's the weekend before
It's
that.
the weekend before that.
Which
I'll
would
put it on
be
there. It'll be
June
on there.
1st.
June 1st?
And when I'm looking back at the notes from last night, I show that we said that the yard sale was going to be the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and junk day was going to be the 15th.
That's not-
What did we set with Rocky?
We already set junk day for the 8th.
So we'll just have to knock it back
Yeah.
the weekend before.
We'll do that the
We should
weekend
have it the
before.
first weekend.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
discussed
and the
the
only
notes
reason
from
we-
last night.
We had
June
this.
1st is the health walk.
Oh, that's right, June 1st is the
Oh,
home
yeah.
walk.
It's the health walk.
Yeah, and I know we just had discussed because moving it back instead of that first weekend because the kids were still in school and it was a mess on that Friday for the buses, to get through, and that's
I'll
why
see if we can move junk day to the next weekend then.
Okay, that'd be great, because then that way the kids are out of school that next weekend, and we don't have any conflicting problems
Okay.
with traffic.
That's what we will do then.
Okay.
We'll look to move
And
that.
just let us know, if not, we'll,
And is the September 7th good for?
yeah, that'll be
fall?
fine,
Okay.
yeah.
So the yard sale is 7th, 8th, and 9th, and junk day the 15th, tentative,
That's tentative.
just for the minutes.
And then, Kevin, the other yard sale will be Labor Day weekend, and the following will be junk pickup on the 7th. Okay. Public input. Do we have any public input tonight? Yes, sir.
We found its site on the web, and it'd be a P220 6-hour gun, and we chose that for a couple of different reasons. First of all, to save the officers for the gun, because it's a very reliable gun. This gun is not built just to aim down range and have a bullet come out of it, like a lot of makes and models are. It's also a reliable gun because I've been carrying the one I have for 20 years with no problems whatsoever. And there was a third reason for this, is because in Union Township, they're all staffed with P220s, and they have armor over there in case we needed to use one for our weapons. But I'm here now because there is a school, an armor certification school, and it's enough to, sometimes it's enough to just clean your guns, but you probably should have a preventative maintenance program with your guns, so in case something goes wrong or a site's damaged or something like that, you have your own armor here that can fix it really quick instead of relying on somebody else. There is an armor school at UT coming up, and it's by 6-hour academy. And I would like to recommend an officer go there. An officer that I would want to go there is somebody that's specially trained. I think he's probably been our maintenance preventive officer for several years, but he's just not recognized as that as Officer Merle. And this way he'll have certification, and he can break down the guns even further than what an officer could for that preventive maintenance that you would need for your guns and the years of service of the guns, the specific gun that we're getting. And it's right there at, it's going to be held at UT in September. I'd like to give them a spot there for that class. And it's a 2-day class, very extensive. You have written exams and practical exams and everything, so it's pretty in-depth. Do 6 hours themselves. So the cost of this school is $395, but it lasts 3 years without recertifying. And I think you have to think of these as an investment instead of just something that you hope is going to fire when you're ready. We chose a 45 because it's got a lot more stopping power than any other caliber out there. And with not being this size, not being too much of an issue, because we have a female in this department, but UT has 3 of them, and they don't have any problems at all with these guns. So I think we can do it with this. So I would like to recommend we put Officer Merle in the school in September.
Chief, how often does that school come around?
6-hour probably is, I don't know exactly, but since it's in New Hampshire, and they send somebody from New Hampshire for here, I doubt if it's very often.
Okay.
Maybe one of the reasons that UT has that, because they have many other guns over there, and it's their 6-hour. So that's probably why they're holding it there. They have all kinds of pieces and parts and anything that you would even need over there. So it's probably held at their facility, which is big enough to hold something like that. But the spots, I don't know how many spots are going to be available, but they're probably going to be, this is the very first day I saw this. And I know it's going to go fast because where I come from, we have 2 armors. And
Well, that's what I was getting at. Would it make sense to have 2?
It was very tough to get in.
Yeah. Would it make sense to have 2 people?
If we could find another one interested enough, is that what you mean? To
Yeah.
an additional officer?
Yeah, that's why I was, that way.
That could be arranged.
Yeah. Is anybody else interested that you're aware of? Or?
I think we could probably find someone.
Okay.
If that's good, yeah.
And we may or may not be able to get 2 spots.
If we put in early enough, we get 2 spots.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I would like to see 2 people.
better yet. Financially, it wouldn't be any problem.
Anybody else on council, how they feel? Like to see two people?
I think it should be two.
I like that it's preventative.
Fine by me. When are we getting the new weapons?
They're not ordered yet, but we couldn't use them before the weather breaks in March anyway.
Okay.
So, as soon as we order them, they'll be shipped, and I'm sure they'll get here pretty quick. That's also from New Hampshire, and plus, getting the holster and the mag comes with it, for the officers. That's not a problem. It's just that the discal problem is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can't get any closer, and you won't have room cost or anything, mileage or anything. You can just take the car over there, and there you are. So.
All right, then. I'll write that up in a form of a motion to send 2 of our police officers at a cost of $700 to $800 to He said $350, did you not?
$395.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I heard $350. I'm sitting here thinking, where I come from, $350 and $350 is not.
Probably 800 with lunch.
To send 2 of our officers for a cost of $800 to the 6-hour classes giving by the gun company at Union Township.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, Kevin, roll call vote.
Mr. Dickerson?
Yep.
Ms. Gerber?
Yep.
Mr. Campbell?
Yay.
Ms. Krafka?
Yay.
Mr. Thacker?
Yay.
Ms. Elliott?
Yay.
6-0 passes.
Any other public input? It's quiet tonight. Any council input?
I would like to thank my father and my cousin for coming all the way from Dayton tonight
No.
to see me and to support me. So thank you very much. I love you both.
Now you gotta buy him dinner, don't you?
No.
I'm okay. Just checking. I got your back. I got you covered.
He told me if we got him out here by 8:30, I got to go too. So.
Then make him pay.
We're going to Wendy's, so.
You guys are big spenders.
Frosties all around.
Well, it's nice to have you, Kate.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Your turn.
I just want to make a suggestion that we may want to consider moving our fuel purchases for the cruisers and other vehicles that we have to the new Amelia Kroger. That way our officers have a more frequent presence up there once they finally open. Just a suggestion.
Any thought on that? Or, I mean, I don't know the difference between prices or. I mean, that's something
Prices
we need to
have
look
been,
at, I
it
guess.
was $3.75 at Speedway the other day and $3.36 up at the Kroger.
It's $3.69 when I came in tonight.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna, but,
Yeah,
you know.
over the 6 miles of speedways between here and 275 is 3 different prices. And,
Right.
With this one being the highest, I didn't know how hard it would be to have an option of 2 places. Would that be unrealistic?
Well, you'd want 2 as an option anyway,
Yeah.
just in case one shut down due to power or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe that would be the answer right there.
Okay.
The point of information, the posted price is about 36 cents higher than what we're actually paying.
I was going to say, we should get a cut
We don't
rate.
pay state tax, we don't pay federal tax, and then Speedway's currently giving 5 cents a gallon discount for timely payment. So if Kroger can meet or beat the 5 cents, I'd say that'd be a turning point.
Yeah.
So I guess then, Kevin, we need to get you to get a hold of them and see what kind of price they come back with if we start purchasing our fuel from the Kroger Fuel Center.
Kevin, we do have the contact manager's name for that.
Okay.
Maybe the officers can use their Kroger Plus card.
Believe it or not, More on that later.
Yeah, let's not go there right at the moment.
But you got a drive-off guy, the guy that stole gas, he did use his Kroger. First, before he drove off.
Chief,
More
we
on that
need you to
later.
write a book on stupid criminals. I mean, because it just seems like they get dumber and dumber and dumber.
That's why they're criminals.
Well, I guess.
I've just got one thing. Just want to wish my daughter Darby a happy birthday this weekend. She will be celebrating on the 17th.
See, you should have said that when she was here. Just saying.
Fail.
And for me, a lot of you know, maybe people out there, I just went through surgery and my husband was in the ICU for a week, and I'd like to personally thank the mayor for calling me every day to check up on us. And my son also arrived the same day my husband went in the hospital from the military, so he's home. And to top my week off, I found out I'm going to be a grandma. So my daughter and her husband are expecting in October. So that put a better damper on my past 2 weeks. So, but I wanted to thank everybody who's my Facebook friend for, checking in and reading my post and making sure we were all still alive. So, thanks.
Anybody else have anything? Well, if everybody's going to give special wishes, I am going to give a special wish to a very special woman in my life, Miss Kathy Kirshner, and wish her a very happy Valentine's Day to Louisville, Kentucky, or I should say Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville. So happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, yuck. Suck up. Look at that. Diesel.
Right, you're all on video.
Yeah, we know.
We'll talk with her when she gets back in town.
Our next council meeting will be February 26, 2013 at 7 p.m. Is there any other business?
Do you want to remind everybody about the Easter egg hunt on March 30th? We were also discussing, if anybody watches this, if to help us with donations, that if you're bringing children, to bring maybe a carton of not real eggs, but with plastic eggs with candy in it to help us offset that cost. That'd be excellent to help out. So it's March 30th, 11 a.m. Spencer Shank. Correct? Did I get that all right?
You did.
Yay, no one even there yesterday. Who? What? Oh, well, then we're having a, see, this is why I don't do this, because I don't know what the whole name of it is. Family Fun One Walk will be June 1st. Also at Spencer Shank Park. Registration's at 7:30 in the morning. What? In the morning. This is too much for me on my first day back. I'm done.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Anything else?
Mayor, do you remember when the grand opening of Kroger's was slated for?
I'm hearing June, but to be honest with you, they're not putting any
I don't
information.
have a date.
Nope. The fuel center opened February 1st. The light will be hopefully operational February 15th, I believe.
That'll be good, because that's getting to be a mess out there.
But no, that's probably the best kept secret. If you can find out, Chief, let me know. I don't have any other business, so if no one else does, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a motion, I have a second. Second. A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.